Hey there, this is Stacey Natal from Life Happens Now. Thanks for coming to my YouTube channel. I am an artist, a photographer, educator, and a coach to creatives. I help creatives get their work out there, get out of their own way, so they could start making money doing what they love. So, something that I see coming up, and we all deal with it to one point or another, is perfectionism. Let me know if you have been bitten by the perfectionist bug. So, I feel so bad. So, I've been teaching some after school classes for months now in embroidery and crochet to young kids, like ages from third grade to fifth grade. And I see perfectionism even in them at that age. They get frustrated if they don't do the stitch right. They want to take everything out. They want to start all over. And I could see, like, or if it's a drawing and it's not coming out right, they're getting all flustered and they're like getting angry at themselves and so mad at themselves. And I'm like, chill, let's chill. It's art, it's supposed to be fun. So I know as adults, this comes up also. So if you are a photographer or an artist, like I know it has come up with me, and actually it recently came up. So it was my daughter's 18th birthday and she wanted to make a cake. And just, not just like a regular cake. She wanted it like a whole decorated, two-tiered, the whole thing. And I used to be so into cake decorating. I was like obsessed with it. So I hadn't done it for years and I said, okay, I'll help you. And as soon as we started, those old feelings of perfectionism just started bubbling up to the surface. I could actually feel it in my chest. We were putting the fondant on. Fondant is like an edible Play-Doh kind of thing where you put it over the cake, and I could see there were some creases. I'm like, no, there are creases over here. Let's smooth it out. And she's like, don't worry about it. And, one of the icing colors was rubbing onto the other icing color. I'm like, no, it looks too messy. No, we have to fix it. And she was like, Mom, it's okay. It's okay. And then I had to realize it's her cake, not my cake. Like, I'm not doing it for a client. Like, if she's okay with it, I'm okay with it. Like, I had to calm down and step back. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna be chill. This is why I don't do cake decorating. I can't handle it, like the perfectionism. And then another area where I've had perfectionist tendencies is with my photography work. So if you're a photographer, you might get this like in the editing process when we're changing the white balance, or, this shade of blue has to be better than this shade of blue. And we could sit there and edit. And a lot of times, like after I've edited some of my floral artwork, I'll show my girls and I'm like, which one do you like better? And they're like, it looks the same. Which is so funny because like I spent so much time like making sure the color pink is the exact shade that I wanted it to. I'm gonna give you one last example. And you might be someone that could geek out over fonts like I can, like whether you're doing website design or you're creating something for social media. This was actually a paid project I was doing for a client. She wanted me to help her design business cards. So I did, and I thought that I was picking out like two totally different fonts for her to choose from. And I was like, which one do you like better? I showed her examples, fully designed business cards. Which one do you like better? She's like, I thought you sent me the same one. I'm like, what? So this goes to show that when it's your craft, you are looking at it with different eyes than the end user. They are not examining every minutia of it. So you don't have to spend so much time, perfecting everything. Like, it's kind of like perfectionism is a double-edged sword because on one hand, it makes us really refine our craft, right? But on the other hand, it could really, it's like procrastinate. Like it's pushing us further and further and further out from actually showing our work. So this could be whether you're designing a website and you want the fonts to be the right, font or the right colors that you're choosing for your brand. If you're a photographer and you're stuck in that editing rabbit hole, if you're a painter and you're like, it's not done yet, it's not done yet. Whatever the case may be, remember, no one else is looking at your work under a microscope like you might be. I just thought of one other example. So my husband does animation. he does storyboards, animation, all that stuff. So whenever we're watching some kind of, if it's an animated commercial, an animated short, whatever it is, he's like, oh my God, that animation is horrible. I'm like, what? I don't even see it. What are you talking about? It's just animated. Like, animation is animation for someone like me, because I'm not examining it and I'm not like skilled in animation to be able to pick out the nuances. Just like the end user is not a professional photographer. They're not picking out like the white balance should have been this instead of this, or like that shade of blue should have been that instead of that. Like, no one is putting your work under a microscope the way you are. So you don't need to be as a perfectionist as you think you need to be. So remember this quote, done is better than perfect. So if this comes up for you, I'm going to always tell you to take out that journal and see what is coming up for you. Why do you feel like you need to be a perfectionist? Are you afraid of being judged? Are you fearful that your work isn't good enough? Like, what is coming up for you that you feel like everything needs to be perfect, everything needs to be in line before you put yourself out there, before you put your work out there? So try to reframe it, try to embrace the mess, because sometimes, like, I know for me, like, I like to draw in my sketchbook. Not all my lines aren't perfectly straight all the time, but that makes it unique. So sometimes you want to embrace the mess and really start practicing, like, maybe you have one thing that you feel like always has to be perfect, but you can practice in other areas by not being as perfect. Or if you do have that one area, see how you can be a little more lenient. So instead of like an hour editing one image, maybe cut it down to 45 minutes or a half an hour or whatever. And ask someone, what do you think? Do you see a difference between these two? And if someone says no, you're done. You are done. Remember, done is better than perfect. So embrace the mess. See what's coming up for you, like why you feel like you need to be a perfectionist. And be mindful, if you have kids, see if you're putting pressure on them, because like I'm seeing it in some of the kids that I'm teaching. So be mindful of that. Like, you don't want your kids to be stressed out. Like, you're getting stressed out, so you don't want them to get stressed out either. And see, where are you feeling it? Like for me, I was feeling it in my chest area. It was tightening up. Where are you feeling the perfectionist areas in your body? So be mindful of that. Maybe you need to do some yoga afterwards just to release that tightened energy, release some energy. So be mindful of perfectionism. Done is better than perfect. And let me know, is perfectionism a problem with you? Do you see it coming up in your creative work? Is it holding you back from getting your work out there? If it is, then it's a problem and we need to address it. So if you need help in this area, I am a coach and I do have slots open each month, I take on about 5 clients per month. So if that's something you need help with, let me know. We address all these issues that are coming up and preventing you from getting your work out there. You need to get your work out there. People need to see your work, whether it's a product or a service. Let's get it out there. So let me know if you need help, and let me know if you're dealing with perfectionism as well. So this is Stacey Nattel coming to you from New York in my living room right now. And thanks for coming to my YouTube channel. Bye.